The Valentine's Day like no other, an invite to dance, an attempt to shake the world into changing its attitude towards women, to refuse to compromise with the current situation until the culture of violence against women ends. It is the day when 1 billion will rise. From Chennai to Chandigarh, Ahmedabad to Agra and America, India and the world will be matching steps to demand change. Various women's organizations, NGOs, artists and actors are part of this day-long program that is being held simultaneously in 200 countries across the world.
We see instances of threat to humanity and human lives, and we don't see human lives as women as equals, and we color it with culture, and the onus of the responsibility of not being abused or violence is still on women. And we are still, though we are 50% of the population, we still are seen as marginalized. So it's important that we rise, at least today.
Chennaites have come out in large numbers to show their support to 1 billion rising campaign. This is time for women to come out and tell that they should be treated equally. They are shouting slogans, there is dance happening, there is music, all forms to tell the world that women should be treated equally. It's time to put an end to the gender violence. That is what they're all demanding, especially after what happened to Nirbhaya in Delhi. The country has woken up. The entire nation has understood what the women of this country, of this world are undergoing. At least the campaign as it suggests 1 billion women in this world have been abused or subjected to violence. At least now we should wake up and tell the world that they shouldn't be abused. This is the signature campaign. You can see a lot of women, Chennaites, have signed urging the government to ensure that there is equality, they are treated properly and laws are implemented in a proper way so that justice is done. With camera person Daniel, Priyambada in Chennai for Headlines Today.
In the Philippines, about 2,000 women and rights activists took to the streets in Manila as part of this global campaign, which has been initiated by playwright Eve Ensler to end violence against women by raising awareness through creative action and dance.
Dance is really an action that can free women, that can also collectively bring us together. And because when you think of women being raped or beaten, yung body nila, yung katawan nila, yun ang naging prison nila. So the form of dance is a form of breaking free from that oppression.
Through the day, we've seen participants from across the country get out in large numbers. In fact, even as we speak, there are demonstrations happening in Mumbai and Delhi. Let me go across to Mumbai first, where Pankaj Upadhyay joins us from. Kamaljeet, I'll come to you in Delhi in just a bit. But Pankaj, we believe that quite a spectacle has been planned today, because people who are getting together as part of the 1 billion rising in Mumbai want to make a statement.
Padmaja, this evening of 14th February is going to be remembered for a very long time. Mumbai has gathered to showcase its solidarity for a violence-free society. The establishment of a society where there is care, love, respect and concern for women. And we are at the Bandra Amphitheatre where thousands of Mumbaikars, along with many prominent personalities of Bollywood, are going to gather here to show their strength. I'm joined by Surya here. Surya, tell us, what are expected here and what are they going to do here?
Absolutely, well, Pankaj, there's going to be rainbow hues of celebration here. Well, Farhan Akhtar is going to be here. He's going to be reciting his poem for women, which he wrote during the Delhi rape incident. Also, at the same time, Meeta Vashish is going to be there. She's going to be performing, one of the excerpts from a very famous place. At the same time, we're going to have Rahul Bose reciting his poem, and at the same time, Javed Akhtar is going to sing a prayer. So, what more do we expect?
Surya, Kalki is already here, the famous actress Kalki.
Kalki is absolutely here. She's sitting right in the front. Probably she's also going to be performing something, or some interesting play or something is going to be coming up. So, I think that what a better day to celebrate, such an issue other than Valentine's.
Yeah, absolutely. And more than that, Padmaja, we have many students from various colleges of Mumbai, especially the girls who will be enacting plays here. And as I said, this evening really is going to turn out to be a promising one. Lots of common Mumbaikars here, but then at the same time, many prominent personalities of Bollywood as well. Padmaja.
Alright, let me go across to Delhi now. Kamaljeet, what are the kind of reactions that you're picking up in Delhi? Because it wasn't too long ago, just 2 months ago in fact, when the entire city had turned out. The gang rape of a young 23-year-old girl had galvanized practically the whole city. Are you seeing a similar response today as well?
hear you, but Delhi is caught up with the imagination of 1 billion rising. Remember that Delhi gang rape case that happened here. We've got people from lots of places who've come here, who've joined Delhi. We've also got a lot of foreigners. You've got to be loud. How are you supporting the cause?
I'm supporting because all my life I've been against violence against women. And I come from Dominican Republic, and in my country I have a friend that lost her mother and two aunts 50 years ago because they fight for liberty and independence. And secondly, I think I have to be here in India supporting that because India is protest, peaceful.
As a man, how do you support this cause?
This is not a matter of men and women. This is a matter of decency. We have to fight violence. And I really appreciate India's way of fighting violence. I feel
Obviously, if you can really hear the overwhelming claps, the loud claps out here, certainly people have caught up with this entire imagination of 1 billion campaign. We have this lovely family out here on Valentine's Day. They do not even belong to India, but they are showing solidarity with one cause here. And yes, as far as violence is concerned, they're saying enough of violence. They're standing against violence against women, and that is what all Delhi is doing right now.
Alright, come on, just stay on again with us because we're going across to another center from where I have my colleague Mridula joining us. Mridula, explain to us what you see around you in Hyderabad. How is this city expressing its solidarity with what women across the globe are demanding, the end of violence against women?
Absolutely, Hyderabad has risen to the occasion, but I should tell you, we are here at People's Plaza, a very prominent meeting point for all protests that happen here, and you can see the crowd is gathering here. They've all marched about from a 2-kilometer distance now and all have congregated here. There are people from all walks of life, students, professionals who have come down directly from offices to participate in it. Let me just ask some of them who are here. Ma'am, you're here today participating, raising the voice for the support and safety of women. What message do you want to give out from here today, ma'am?
This is a very important issue to be aware of, and the more we become aware of it, the more the society will start to shift.
Absolutely. A lot of people have come from different walks of life, be it from students or even from villages. People have come here and participated. Do you think this will make a difference? Do you think it will change how the attitude of the society and especially men towards women are?
I hope it will change because it's a stepping stone and it's like a grounding for women to feel that this is a forum, they come, it's acceptable. So this makes it more open, and I think with that it's a new way for women to think and for the men to respect the women.
Absolutely. In fact, I should tell you there are a lot of men also who have come here to participate. The people who walked here, participated in the march. So you are here, you are supporting, you are giving your solidarity to the issue. What message would you like to give to the men of the society on what is their role in this whole uprising?
Basically, it has to do with respect. That's something that's non-negotiable, and I think men just need to understand that when you're dealing with a woman, you don't compromise on the respect issues. And a lot of women in India need to encourage their sons to understand this aspect. I think we have a double standard in India where mothers tend to allow their sons to grow up with a very stereotypical perspective on what women are. That needs to be broken. Mothers need to teach their sons that a woman has a right to choose, to decide what's okay for her now.
A change in attitude from childhood itself, that is what is the need of the hour, and this uprising here, not just here, from across the country and the world, would like to bring forth this notice that women should be allowed to live as they would please. In fact, I have to mention one thing today while we were walking with the people who were marching. There was one man here who was walking with them, and I asked him, why are you participating? He had just lost his sister to dowry harassment just 2 days ago. She had committed suicide not very far from this point, and he was here to ensure that others don't suffer the fate of his sister, and that is why he was participating. So you can see that it was people who have a personal, who have faced a personal tragedy, and people who want to ensure that others don't face similar tragedies. They're all here. They're all coming in solidarity.
And that is something really, Mridula, that we've been underlining ever since the protests first started in Delhi after the Delhi gang rape. It's not a women's issue. It affects every single member of society. Are you also seeing participation in Delhi, Kamaljeet, by not just women, but people from all walks of life, men and women alike?
Well, an overwhelming response
you can see loads of women out here. They're all cheering for that cause. There is this little bit of a dance going on. 200 countries have joined in with this campaign. And as I told you earlier, it's caught the imagination of these women. They've all come out in support of that woman who died in that gang rape, who became a victim. But let me tell you, I spoke earlier to the parliamentarians of Afghanistan. They faced a lot of violence there, and they had this to tell us. It's 1 billion rising, and we have women parliamentarians from Afghanistan. मैम अब आप ये बताइए, महिलाएं हैं काफी हैं अफगानिस्तान में, पर काफी क्राइम है वहाँ पे, सेक्सुअल भी क्राइम भी है महिलाओं के खिलाफ, तो क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आज का जो खास दिन है उसके ऊपर?
ठीक है, जो अफगानिस्तान है दुनिया की सब कंट्री में वुमेन के आगे वायलेंस अगेंस्ट है। वो जो आपने बताया आज खास दिन है, आज तो हम ये दिन मना रहे हैं, लेकिन वो वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन के साथ होते हैं। हम उसी के लिए हर रोज, हर दिन, हर घंटा और हर मिनट काम करेंगे कि ये वायलेंस अगेंस्ट जो वुमेन के साथ होती है ये कम हो जाए, और हम मांगते हैं जो ये वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन के साथ ना हो। लेकिन ये कि अफगानिस्तान में आज खुशी की बात ये हम कानून है, एक कानून हमारे पास है, जो वो कानून वुमेन के साथ वो वायलेंस अगेंस्ट होता है, उसके सब कौन जो वायलेंस करता है उसको सजा मिलता है।
Obviously, they've all come here for a different cause. We have a young lady with us. Do tell us, you've come from a country which is actually also somehow known for crimes against women. Now, what is the message that you really carry, especially on a day where there are protests happening all over the nations? You know, there are almost 200 nations there. So, what is the message that should, and how do you want to join this particular movement?
What is being telecasted from through the media, that's not all true, because we are every day we are dealing with different types of violence against women. But no, we have this specific law against violence, so we are dealing to implement that law in different parts of our country, and we are trying our best and paying our harder efforts to eliminate this violence. 1 billion rising, and these are women from Afghanistan. They have the courage, they are part of the Senate, but clearly they are showing their support for this cause. With camera person Alok Bhatnagar, with this Kamaljeet Sandhu in Delhi for Headlines Today. These women told us that women might be different all across the world, but they have one pain to share. They understand each other's language very clearly. That's what we see here in Delhi. Men and women have joined arms together, joined hands together for this particular one cause, 1 billion rising.
Joining us from Delhi, in fact, through the day, we are going to get you these images, these voices from different cities. India has joined the world as a 1 billion people are rising. And let me get a final word in from Pankaj, because the preparations have already started, Pankaj, in Mumbai. But other than all the presentations, all the speeches that we're expecting, what is the emotion, the one emotion that you're picking up from the people who've assembled there?
You know, Padmaja, the fast-paced cosmopolitan that Mumbai really is, one gets the feeling from outside that there is lack of community feel. But let me tell you, when the question of resilience comes in, when the question of, you know, togetherness comes in, Mumbai doesn't lag behind. And Surya, it's interesting to see not just women, but men also have come in, you know, in hundreds here, showing the solidarity. What do you have to say on that?
Absolutely. I think, well, it's a cosmopolitan crowd here, and everyone in Mumbai has turned up just the way it always does. Well, I have certain students here. What do you have to say about the whole setup here? How excited are you personally?
I'm very excited, and yeah, we're here to support our college, and yeah, that's it.
All right. So apart from celebrities, you know, many college goers also here. What do you have to say? You know, something for the issue of women, and you are a guy here. What do you have to say about this?
I just here to support women, how like Delhi things and everything. So, yeah, so I want like Bombay is like best, and I want India should be like respect women. Okay. How like women are important in India. There is a like a relation called women are Lakshmi in our house. Absolutely. So respect Lakshmi, then you will get everything.
Absolutely, that's the feel here. Well, women being empowered here, Pankaj.
So Surya, it's the celebration of the Valentine's Day in the truest of spirit. As we said, the theme is respect, love, care for women, and that is here in abundance. As I said, Padmaja, this turns out to be an evening to remember.
All right, for now, thank you all, Mridula, Kamaljeet and Pankaj and Surya, for joining us from the different cities. Like I said, this is going to be something that we're going to stay with right here on Headlines today, because this is a revolution that calls for defiance on a global scale. It's a coming together of men and women who refuse to see the horrors of rape and violence against women ignored any longer. If the December 2012 Delhi gang rape protests were a call to war, this here now is mobilization from India and across the world.
As a child, I suffered sexual and emotional abuse for several years at the hands of a man my parents trusted implicitly. Growing up, like most women I know, I suffered various forms of groping, touching, verbal abuse, and other things I didn't know how to deal with. I didn't know I could change.
She is known to the world as a successful sitar player and musician. But Anushka Shankar bears hidden scars. Scars of sexual abuse that she is sure will never heal. But she, along with 1 billion women across the planet, will rise on the 14th of February to seek the end to violence against women.
As a woman, I find I'm frequently living in fear, afraid to walk alone at night, afraid to answer a man who asks for the time, afraid I'm going to be judged or treated in ways based on the way I might choose to dress or the makeup I might choose to wear. And, you know, enough is enough. I'm rising. I'm rising for Jyoti and for women like her. I'm rising with the amazing women of my country who are together calling and saying enough is enough. I'm rising for the child in me who I don't think will ever fully recover from what happened to her.
Women across India were galvanized into action after the brutal gang rape of a 23-year-old in Delhi on December 16 last year. Now, as the world celebrates Valentine's Day, India will join women across the globe in demanding their rights, because this is 1 billion rising. But what is this movement? It's a global mobilization of men and women. They describe themselves as a global strike, an invitation to dance, a call to men and women to refuse to participate in the status quo till rape and rape culture ends. An act of solidarity demonstrating to women the commonality of their struggles and their power in numbers. A refusal to accept violence against women and girls as a given. A new time and a new way of being. The statistics are horrifying. 1 in 3 women across the world is raped or beaten in her lifetime. But the time has come to say enough. The call to action is simple. 1 billion women violated is an atrocity. 1 billion women dancing is a revolution. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.